I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend, like that.
Hello, and welcome to Fuck Your Feelings, the show where people say what they think. This is not a safe space from freedom of speech. You need to hear views outside of your own bubble. If you get offended, good. Think you just might learn something. We are here to offend and trigger those who can be, and have an enlightened, intelligent discussion for the rest of you who aren't afraid of having an open mind. We give a platform to all speech. You should hear it all. It's said that sunlight is the best disinfectant. We are a free marketplace of ideas. If you are triggered, see a firing squad.
I'm going to read out something you wrote about homosexuality, which is the feelings of alienation and rejection it engenders are responsible for the sorts of repugnant tribal posturing you see on the streets of Soho on a Friday night, as bitterly unhappy queers engage in degrading and repulsive behavior.
I stand by that.
It's okay.
Rock and roll is consumed these days has more to do with advertising agencies and promotion of products and things like that. Pretty much rock and roll has been reduced to a product itself, whereas in the 60s there was a little bit more life to it. It was connected a little bit more closely to the lives of the people who made the music. Whereas today, it is my observation that the people in the music business devote their time to making product rather than music.
Mr. Zappa has published his own warning and guarantee to go on record albums. What is this about, Frank?
Well, could I read it, or would you read it? Or?
All right, it says, this album contains material which a truly free society would neither fear nor suppress. In some socially retarded areas, religious fanatics and ultra-conservative political organizations violate your First Amendment rights by attempting to censor rock and roll albums. We feel this is unconstitutional and un-American. As an alternative to these government-supported programs designed to keep you docile and ignorant, Barking Pumpkin is pleased to provide stimulating digital audio entertainment for those of you who have outgrown the ordinary. The language and concepts contained herein are guaranteed not to cause eternal torment in the place where the guy with the horns and the pointed stick conducts his business. This guarantee is as real as the threats of the video fundamentalists who use attacks on rock music in their attempt to transform America into a nation of check-mailing nincompoops in the name of Jesus Christ. If there is a hell, its fires wait for them, not us. You sound angry, Frank.
Well, I am.
And?
I resent encroachments on the First Amendment because I'm a constitutional fundamentalist.
And these encroachments are taking place how?
Well, they take place every day, but especially since the Reagan administration has taken power, I believe he must owe an awful lot to the group of video evangelists that he does business with.
Because they're talking about rock music and lyrics and what's on records and what kids are listening to.
It's not just that, because the influence of fundamentalist theory, let's call it, in American politics is, I think, beyond the limit of what the government should tolerate in terms of church meddling. After all, these people pay no taxes. They're getting a free ride. The IRS can't look at their books. And you've got a president that owes them a lot because they use their television stations to help get it in.
They have a right of free speech, of course, and they have a right to say, I think Frank Zappa's lyrics are bad.
Of course, but they do not have a right to pass legislation or influence legislation which influences my life or the lives of people who don't agree with their point of view just because they've got an in Washington, D.C., and they keep putting up the smoke screen about government meddling in religion, but really it's religion meddling in government because of the economic influence there.
Now, what is their goal, do you think? They want to ban albums?
No, their goal is to take over the United States the same way the Ayatollah took over Iran.
You believe that?
I believe it.
But in the music area, what is their goal?
Their goal, well, they're using right now you have a cotton candy news story about censorship censorship of rock lyrics. They want to rate rock albums, not country and western albums, because country and western music is like God's music. So you don't touch that. But any rock and roll album that has lyrics that describe explicit sex, body function, violence, what they call Satanism, all this, they want to put labels on them.
Like movie ratings?
Like movie ratings, yes.
So that the parent would say, this has a B, don't buy this.
It would, well, it's not like a B. They have for drugs and alcohol, they have a D/A. All right, and we all know the country and western songs are full of drugs and alcohol and divorce and, you know.
But it wouldn't affect country and western. Well, how do you know that? If
Because I debated a woman named Candy Stroud on the CBS Night Watch, the Sunday night debate, which will air next Sunday. And I asked her that question on the air. She said no.
In the 60s, the music was there. And it was a revolution, wasn't it? I mean, you talk about the students' revolution, and the music, that was sort of, you know, that had it all, didn't it?
That's an exaggeration. I think that's been romanticized quite a bit. There was a lot of revolutionary rhetoric, but there never was a revolution.
You mean, by and large?
By and large, there was nothing that even resembled a revolution. There's a lot of people talking about it.
No,
and they like to get together in large numbers and hold signs and march around and talk about it, and then after the demonstration they would either be beaten up and have to get the blood off their head, or they'd get a blowjob from a girl in a smelly blanket.